Hello everyone, this is Marianne and I am back with an update for One Book July 2017. This would be my fifth video for One Book July this year, and if you haven't watched the first four videos, I will link them down below so you can watch them in order. Now let me just give you an overview of how my week went. On Monday, July 17, I was very busy at work because of all the things that I have listed down, and I was able to do most of them, but I had to transfer some of them to another day because there really wasn't enough time to fulfill everything. On Tuesday, I was able to journal for half an hour and I was able to read for an hour and a half. I'm still on the Russell Mohadas book. And then on Wednesday, I had so many things to do for work, and those were not even planned. Those were just the things that happened that I had to react to. But in the evening, I was able to deal with some administrative things for work. But as you can notice, the hypertext fields are colored red and purple. It means that it's an administrative task for school, but I was doing it with a friend. I was consulting him about an extra task for school. And then on Thursday, I was able to study for an hour after midnight. I was still on the Russell Mohadas book, and then I was in the office all day for a bunch of things. And then on Friday, I was able to study for only an hour and a half. I actually read a different book. I read one chapter of it only. It's still by the same author, but I felt that it was a relevant subject to the main book that I am reading. And then I was at the office all day. I wasn't able to journal. And on Saturday, I was quite sick. This was the day in which I decided to take it slow because I had my period and my menstrual pain, and I threw up because of the pain. I was able to do a bunch of errands in the morning, and I was able to drop by the hospital for my post-sclerotherapy checkup. But then in the evening was really the height of the pain, so I was on messenger audio with Jawad for 2.5 hours. He stayed with me the whole time while I was crying and angry with myself and frustrated for deciding to live alone, acting like a crazy person. And then on Sunday, I just took it easy. I didn't study. I journaled for only half an hour, but most of the time I was watching Forensic Files, something completely unrelated, and some of the tasks that needed to be done for that week had to be moved to a different day because I really just needed a break. And so that is how my week went. I didn't journal much for this week of July 17 to 23. The things that I was researching was already very clear in my mind. I did not have to argue with myself regarding some confusions that I was dealing with. So I was able to journal, but I changed my handwriting. If you have seen my previous update videos, you must have seen me journaling. I'm using the Lamy Pacific with the italic 1.5 millimeter nib, and I used the print style of handwriting, not the cursive, but it was too slow, and it was really not my natural way of writing. So I decided to change my handwriting. Starting on this particular week, I started writing in cursive. I think that writing in cursive is really my most natural way of writing by hand. And although I can write in print, I am not very comfortable with it, and I only tried to use it because I wanted to write slow, but now I don't need to write slow anymore. You can see the difference between the print writing and the cursive. I think I'm going to be sticking with cursive from now on, even with a 1.5 millimeter italic nib. So where am I in this book that I have been reading since the beginning of July? I am here. I am past halfway, and it doesn't even go all the way through to the end because most of the end pages are notes and appendices that I don't have to read through word for word. So those are the number of pages that are left, more or less. And I have taken a break at this point on page 222. and that those are actual case studies of the vernacular novel, and I have gotten a lot so far, as you can see from all of those tabs that those sticky what do you call them, page flags that I have marked, and I have placed even more questions and insights on the pages themselves with the yellow post-it notes. And I don't have much to go through anymore with this book because I've already finished chapters 2, 3, and 4, and 5. I'm already on chapter 5, and I have stopped on the integral plot. That is where I will pick up reading again. And the number 6 part is really what I'm after. The Filipino novel in English and the novel before the war. That's what I'm really, really after. But before I can get to that point, I would like to hear him out from beginning until the very end. I find that I understand the writer much better if I don't read just a chapter. I find that I understand him much better if I read through the entire book, so that when I do get to the point that I'm looking for, the understanding will be even more inevitable and logical. And that's where I am with this book. And the other essay that I have read by the same author is from this same book that I have shown you before. It's the essay called Time, Memory, and the Birth of the Nation. I have already read the chapter or the essay that came after that, called The Haunting of the Filipino Writer. Now, this is Time, Memory, and the Birth of the Nation. It's a rather short essay, and I have written down there a question: are all fictional works biographical, and what makes them spectral? And then he mentioned deep time, and then the revolutionary spirit, and I was looking for it. If I was asking myself questions, if that's something that I can look for in the Philippine novel in English, that revolutionary spirit, because Conchitina Cruz says that there is no revolutionary spirit in the Philippine literature in English, that she has analyzed for that particular essay that I talked about. I think it was in my third update for One Book July. And before I close this update, let me just give you an idea of where I actually study. You have seen the blackout curtains before, and I will link the video down below, but this is really my makeshift study desk in my dorm room, and that's always how it looks like these days for One Book July. And that those are the new shades that were installed by the dorm management, but behind that I have another panel of blackout curtains, because that is not very, that is kind of sheer. And that white chair is provided by the dorm, but the table is provided by me. And there is the book that I'm on, and it's sitting on the book rest that I have showed, the one that's called the Brilliant Reading Rest. And that is the page where I'm at. And that's the amount of lighting that I actually get on the surface of the book. I place on the front of it all of the study tools that I immediately need, and which I need like for every page: the Lamy pen, the marker, and the highlighter. And at the back of the reading rest, I have that pouch where I have all of my study tools. I've shown you this before in a previous update. And here at the side of the table, I have pasted, these are from 3M. Those are something that can hold your wires, and I just pasted them onto the, sorry about the ant. I just pasted these onto the vinyl tablecloth, and so that I can have all of the cables within easy reach whenever I need them. These are much cheaper than the cable holders that I see, the very stylish ones. Those are very expensive, but this one comes in a pack of 6, I think, and they're very, very affordable. So that's an iPhone cable right there, and a micro USB for my power bank, and my Bluetooth headset, and the power plug for the external hard drive that I use when I'm using my laptop. and my laptop is currently in the office. And that is the charger for my Oral-B electric toothbrush. It's always on there. There I have placed it. It has a steripod on the head and it's charging. And I also have that lamp that is a little bit dusty and also has an ant in it. And the lamp is actually standing on top of a canister of Kool-Aid from Jawide and a jar of peanut butter also from Jawide that I will soon finish. And then I have these plastic bins. This one here has some stuff that I need every now and then. And the other bin has teas and a chocolate bar, which explains why I have some ants on my desk. And those are just some tea bags that I reach for every day. I have, it's really just a chamomile infusion, not really all tea. And then I have some, I have English breakfast, which is my favorite tea flavor. And then this bin at the back has nothing but my fountain pen inks that I am using currently. And this other larger bin right here holds some of the photocopies that I will be reading next and 3 of my Quirkles coloring books. I have uploaded about 10 of them already to my YouTube channel and I will link them down below. And these are the A4 document pouches that I am not needing right now, but I will be needing in August when the semester officially begins. And I have there a watercolor book, and that's really it. In that basket over there, just a makeup mirror, a bottle of antihistamine because I get asthma every once in a while, and then a hair tie, and then there's that blood pressure monitor for the wrist, tissue, toilet paper actually, and then Claricort for allergies, and I have hand lotion, body lotion, and then hand sanitizer, and then my Montague pen pouch with a Zig Clean Color Real Brush pens, and I put the Pacific All-Star in it, and a drink. It's an orange drink from McDonald's. And that's what's in my desk, and beside the reading rest, I always have my planner. Let me put that aside so I can show you what's under. This is the A4 pouch that carries my Cornell notes and my graded paper that I showed you in a previous update. That's where I keep them. I also place there loose leaf sheets like library slips or notes to myself. And this is a printout of a PDF that I'm going to read next after I am done reading the Rasil Moharras book. I have mentioned this book before in a previous update. I think I have included it in the schedule that I made for One Book July, but I am kind of delayed. But this is a very, very important book, and I'm going to be needing to concentrate on that. And I also need to have a clip for that. And then the next book that I plan to read after that is called The Blood of Government, Race, Empire, the United States, and the Philippines. It's written by Paul Kramer. And then on the side of the table, you will see that I actually have my bed on there already, and I have my backpack propped up on one of the pillars of the bunk beds. I have already started to use this backpack again because of all the things that I have to carry around. And this is the backpack that I have designed myself. I have a video about it in my YouTube, which I will link down below. And there is the bed, which I have showed you before. I don't know why the camera won't focus, but that is really, you can already see the head of the bed right there. And I showed this to you when I showed you my blackout curtains. And then also when I had a review about the nightstand for the Apple Watch. The dorm actually has issued me a legit study desk. This is actually a row of study desks to be used by all 4 of us that occupies that particular dorm room. This is what's in mine. Those are all of the books that are directly related to my thesis in one way or another. Some of them are not, come to think of it. But those are what I have. I have more books inside my cabinet in the dorm, which I'm not going to show you anymore. But and the rest of my library of about 500 to 600 books are in storage because I don't have an apartment of my own right now. And those are just the books that I have out. And these are what's on top of my study desk issued by the dorm. But I don't study there. I prefer to study here in my little makeshift table in my own little corner because sometimes they watch TV over there and sometimes they also do some projects and they need to spread out. And that is my update for you guys for the week of July 17 to 23 for One Book July 2017. I hope you guys enjoyed and I hope you catch me again on the next update. Thanks for watching. Bye.